lap. Simon of the Desert posted 0:59.629 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time.
There is always more time to be found, but Simon is not guaranteed to find it.
With just 73 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Simon of the Desert has a best lap time of 0:59.166. It's a lovely day for racing here at Donington Park 2018 National as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. Melero is on his practice out lap. It's a lovely day for racing here at Donington Park 2018 National as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. Ryan Wilson is on his practice out lap. It's a lovely day for racing here at Donington Park 2018 National as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. Ryan Wilson is on his practice out lap. David Zahn has a best lap time of 0:56.491. There are just over 70 minutes left in this practice session. Ryan Wilson is on his first practice flying lap. Ryan Wilson is in Schwantz curve. David just posted a 4:43.802 crossing start finish. With just 69 minutes left before we move to qualification, There is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations.
The time clock can be a cruel mistress that is all too willing to show you your faults.
Ryan Wilson has a best lap time of 0:57.309.
If there is still time on the clock, there is still time to improve.
Ryan Wilson has a best lap time of 0:56.291.
There is always more time to be found, but Wilson is not guaranteed to find it.
Ryan Wilson posted 0:56.291 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time.
Wilson is not giving up and will be looking for every 10th.
With just 68 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Melero has a best lap time of 0:56.055. Melero just posted a 0:56.055 crossing start finish.
The time clock can be a cruel mistress that is all too willing to show you your faults.
David Zahn posted 0:58.248 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time.
If there is still time on the clock, there is still time to improve.
David Zahn has a best lap time of 0:56.491. With just 66 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Ryan just posted a 0:56.291 crossing start finish. Ryan Wilson posted 2:48.528 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time. There are just over 65 minutes left in this practice session. Melero has a best lap time of 0:56.055.
There is always more time to be found, but Melero is not guaranteed to find it.
With just 65 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations.
The time clock can be a cruel mistress that is all too willing to show you your faults.
Ryan just posted a 0:56.285 crossing start finish. Ryan Wilson posted 0:56.285 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time. Melero has a best lap time of 0:56.055. David Zahn has a best lap time of 0:56.295.
If there is still time on the clock, there is still time to improve.
David just posted a 0:56.560 crossing start finish. David Zahn posted 1:13.950 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time. David Zahn has a best lap time of 0:56.295. David Zahn has a best lap time of 0:56.295.
There is always more time to be found, but Zahn is not guaranteed to find it.
Feemster is getting to grips with the ASRL Lotus 98T in this practice session. Jake Feemster is on his first practice flying lap. Jake Feemster is in coppice. With just 61 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations.
The time clock can be a cruel mistress that is all too willing to show you your faults.
David Zahn posted 0:56.364 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time.
If there is still time on the clock, there is still time to improve.
David Zahn has a best lap time of 0:56.295. There are just over 60 minutes left in this practice session. Jake just posted a 5:19.145 crossing start finish. With just 60 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. David Zahn has a best lap time of 0:56.295.
There is always more time to be found, but Dave is not guaranteed to find it.
David Zahn has a best lap time of 0:56.046. David Zahn posted 0:56.046 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time.
David is not giving up and will be looking for every 10th.
With just 59 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations.
The time clock can be a cruel mistress that is all too willing to show you your faults.
Simon of the Desert has a best lap time of 0:59.032. Simon of the Desert has a best lap time of 0:59.032.
There is always more time to be found, but Simon is not guaranteed to find it.
David just posted a 0:55.718 crossing start finish. With just 57 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations.
If there is still time on the clock, there is still time to improve.
Jake Feemster has a best lap time of 0:59.650.
Jake is not giving up and will be looking for every 10th.
Jake Feemster posted 0:59.650 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time.
There is always more time to be found, but Jake is not guaranteed to find it.
Jake Feemster has a best lap time of 0:59.650.
The time clock can be a cruel mistress that is all too willing to show you your faults.
With just 56 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations.
Zahn is not giving up and will be looking for every 10th.
David Zahn has a best lap time of 0:55.692. Ryan Wilson posted 0:55.743 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time. There are just over 55 minutes left in this practice session. Ryan Wilson has a best lap time of 0:55.345.
If there is still time on the clock, there is still time to improve.
With just 55 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations.
The time clock can be a cruel mistress that is all too willing to show you your faults.
Simon just posted a 0:57.587 crossing start finish.
There is always more time to be found, but Simon is not guaranteed to find it.
Simon of the Desert has a best lap time of 0:57.587.
Simon is not giving up and will be looking for every 10th.
David Zahn has a best lap time of 0:55.692. With just 53 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Melero posted 9:44.899 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time.
If there is still time on the clock, there is still time to improve.
Melero just posted a 0:56.769 crossing start finish. Melero has a best lap time of 0:55.682. With just 52 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Jake Feemster posted 0:59.163 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time. Jake Feemster has a best lap time of 0:59.032. Melero just posted a 0:59.768 crossing start finish.
The time clock can be a cruel mistress that is all too willing to show you your faults.
With just 51 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Melero has a best lap time of 0:55.682. Jake Feemster has a best lap time of 0:59.032.
Feemster is not giving up and will be looking for every 10th.
Jake Feemster posted 1:08.224 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time.
If there is still time on the clock, there is still time to improve.
With just 50 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Ryan Wilson has a best lap time of 0:55.345.
There is always more time to be found, but Wilson is not guaranteed to find it.
Ryan just posted a 0:56.607 crossing start finish.
Wilson is not giving up and will be looking for every 10th.
Ryan Wilson has a best lap time of 0:55.345.
The time clock can be a cruel mistress that is all too willing to show you your faults.
With just 49 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations.
There is always more time to be found, but Simon is not guaranteed to find it.
Simon of the Desert has a best lap time of 0:56.617.
If there is still time on the clock, there is still time to improve.
Simon of the Desert posted 0:57.580 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time.
The time clock can be a cruel mistress that is all too willing to show you your faults.
Ryan just posted a 0:55.629 crossing start finish. Ryan Wilson has a best lap time of 0:55.345.
Wilson is not giving up and will be looking for every 10th.
With just 48 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations.
There is always more time to be found, but Wilson is not guaranteed to find it.
David Zahn has a best lap time of 0:55.692.
If there is still time on the clock, there is still time to improve.
David Zahn posted 0:59.384 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time. David Zahn has a best lap time of 0:55.692. With just 47 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Jake Feemster has a best lap time of 0:56.818. Jake Feemster posted 0:56.935 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time.
The time clock can be a cruel mistress that is all too willing to show you your faults.
David just posted a 7:04.658 crossing start finish. There are just over 45 minutes left in this practice session. David Zahn has a best lap time of 0:55.692.
David is not giving up and will be looking for every 10th.
It's a lovely day for racing here at Donington Park 2018 National as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. Kevin Lekmansky is on his practice out lap. Simon of the Desert has a best lap time of 0:56.617. Simon of the Desert posted 2:24.406 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time.
There is always more time to be found, but Simon is not guaranteed to find it.
Simon just posted a 2:24.406 crossing start finish. Lech Mansky is getting to grips with the ASRL Lotus 98T in this practice session. With just 43 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Simon of the Desert has a best lap time of 0:56.617.
The time clock can be a cruel mistress that is all too willing to show you your faults.
Simon of the Desert posted 0:58.397 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time. Simon of the Desert has a best lap time of 0:56.617. With just 42 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations.
Lech Mansky is not giving up and will be looking for every 10th.
Lech Mansky has a best lap time of 0:57.791.
There is always more time to be found, but Kevin is not guaranteed to find it.
Simon of the Desert posted 0:59.929 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time. Simon of the Desert has a best lap time of 0:56.617. With just 41 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Lech Mansky has a best lap time of 0:57.791.
If there is still time on the clock, there is still time to improve.
There are just over 40 minutes left in this practice session. Simon of the Desert posted 0:59.127 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time. Simon just posted a 0:59.127 crossing start finish. With just 39 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations.
Simon is not giving up and will be looking for every 10th.
Lech Mansky has a best lap time of 0:57.068. Lech Mansky posted 0:57.068 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time.
There is always more time to be found, but Kevin is not guaranteed to find it.
Kevin Legmansky has a best lap time of 0:56.621. With just 38 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Simon just posted a 1:01.358 crossing start finish. Kevin Legmansky posted 0:57.072 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time.
If there is still time on the clock, there is still time to improve.
Kevin Legmansky has a best lap time of 0:56.621. With just 37 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations.
Legmansky is not giving up and will be looking for every 10th.
Simon of the Desert has a best lap time of 0:56.617.
The time clock can be a cruel mistress that is all too willing to show you your faults.
Simon just posted a 0:58.360 crossing start finish.
If there is still time on the clock, there is still time to improve.
David Zahn has a best lap time of 0:55.692. With just 36 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. David Zahn has a best lap time of 0:55.692.
Dave is not giving up and will be looking for every 10th.
There are just over 35 minutes left in this practice session. Jake Feemster posted 2:20.774 on his last lap, and will be pushing hard for an even lower time.
The time clock can be a cruel mistress that is all too willing to show you your faults.
Jake just posted a 2:20.774 crossing start finish.
There is always more time to be found, but Feemster is not guaranteed to find it.
With just 34 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Kevin Legmansky has a best lap time of 0:56.621.
Legmansky is not giving up and will be looking for every 10th.
Kevin Legmansky posted David just posted a 0:57.308 crossing start finish.
If there is still time on the clock, there is still time to improve.
With just 33 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations.
There is always more time to be found, but David is not guaranteed to find it.
Kevin Lekmansky has a best lap time of 0:56.578.
Lekmansky is not giving up and will be looking for every 10th.
It's a beautiful day here in Great Britain, and the drivers are itching to get out on the track at Donington Park 2018 National.
You can feel the excitement building in the air. This is going to be a great race, and I'm looking forward to seeing the drivers push themselves to the limit on this challenging track.
Simon of the Desert will have the best seat in the house starting from pole position.
He can't let his guard down. The other drivers will be gunning for him.
David Zahn will be looking to convert this front row start into a win.
He will have to keep his foot on the gas in order to stay at the sharp end of the grid.
Holding strong in third place is Kevin Lekmansky.
It's like he's on the outside looking in, close enough to see the front without actually being there.
Lining up in fourth is Melero.
Melero is hoping for a strong result.
The fifth position belongs to Ryan Wilson.
A strong grid position, and he'll be expecting a solid result today.
Taking the sixth spot is Jake Feemster.
Jake will be taking no prisoners today.
The green light signals the beginning of an epic race. As the drivers jostle for position, it's all about keeping their cool under pressure.
Precision is everything during these initial stages. One wrong move could cost them valuable time or even force them out of the race.
As we watch the drivers fight it out in the first lap, I can already feel that this is going to be an epic race.
The drivers are walking a fine line during the first lap melee as everyone tries to establish themselves. It's easy for inexperienced racers to blow it in T1.
Having started in P5, Ryan Wilson will be hoping for a good result in this race.
The first lap can always be a bit of a melee as everyone tries to establish themselves. It's easy for inexperienced racers to blow it in T1.
The gap between Kevin Lekmansky and Melero is getting smaller. This is getting exciting. Kevin Lekmansky is looking for any gap that might open up the position.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Lekmansky to make up that gap, especially with Melero defending so well.
Kevin Lekmanski is running third and trying to catch Melero. Melero has a battle on his hands now coming through McLean's with Kevin Lekmanski hot on his tail.
This could be where Lekmanski is going to dive up the inside. Melero is going to need to cover the inside, and that will compromise his exit speed.
It's been a solid race so far for Melero. He's holding his position and keeping a steady pace. Stop the press. What a move. Melero has moved up to first.
That's what we like to see. Melero is really showing his class today.
It's all eyes on this battle as David Zahn in first tries to hold off the challenge of Melero. Melero is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. It seems like Melero has got the bit between his teeth, improving on David Zahn's lap time there. Well, it doesn't look like Ryan Wilson is going to be much of a threat to anyone soon, let alone Jake Feemster. This is what high-octane racing looks like. Melero is breathing down the neck of David Zahn, not giving him any room to relax. Melero is trying his best, but can't seem to find the pace to keep up with breaking news, folks. A great pass for Melero, swapping places with David Zahn to move up the field. The pressure is on as David Zahn works on catching up to Ryan Wilson. This is a thrilling battle as Ryan Wilson edges closer to Jake Feemster in their fight for P2.
Don't forget the role of aerodynamics. Ryan should use slipstreaming to his advantage and close the gap to Feemster.
It's certainly not going to plan for Ryan Wilson right now, who is struggling to keep up with Jake Feemster. Hold on a moment. Great driving from Simon of the Desert, who has just gained a place and moved up to 5th. I don't think that's the fastest way around Donington Park 2018 National. Ryan Wilson is looking for a way to close that gap to Jake Feemster.
You can see that car bouncing around as it rides the curves. It's a risky move that could end in disaster.
Ryan Wilson appears to be losing ground on Jake Feemster. He'll need to pick up the pace a bit heading into Redgate to get a good exit and gain some ground.
Wilson needs to get it together to make a dent in that gap.
A solid performance from Jake Feemster, who is holding down second.
Definitely, but he can't get too comfortable. There are plenty of other drivers gunning for that position, and Feemster has to keep pushing to stay on the pace.
Oh, Janet, Jake Feemster has seen his lead over Ryan Wilson shrink to 1.3 seconds.
This is a real test for Jake. He'll need to find some extra pace and hold off Wilson to have a shot at winning this race.
Ryan Wilson is giving it his all chasing down Jake Feemster in P2. It's game on now. Ryan Wilson has closed the gap to Jake Feemster. It's now down to 0.9 seconds.
This is where the race gets really exciting. Both drivers will be pushing to the limit to gain the advantage.
Look at the way the drivers are hugging those corners. It's like they're on rails.
Speaking of rails, did you know that the first racetrack was built on a railway in 1896? I bet those drivers were chugging along.
All joking aside, I bet they were. Things have come a long way since then, haven't they?
Definitely, it's amazing to think about the technology that goes into these cars now. I mean, they have more computing power than some countries.
Oh, this is getting intense. Ryan Wilson needs to keep Jake Feemster in his sights. Jake Feemster is placed second at the moment, and hoping to keep his distance ahead of Ryan Wilson, who is 0.4 seconds behind. Wait, look at this, Janet, what a shame for Jake Feemster. He's lost P2 to Ryan Wilson, and that's got to hurt.
Indeed, he's been trying so hard to hold his position, but the other drivers are just too strong. Meanwhile, Wilson is showing some great pace.
Things are heating up as Kevin Lekmansky tries to close the gap to Simon of the Desert.
This is not going to be an easy pass to make.
Kevin Lekmansky could be on a charge here, Janet. He's just put in a quicker lap than Simon of the Desert.
The question now is, can Simon respond to that and pick up the pace? I'm not so sure.
This is where the race gets really interesting. David Zahn is closing in. Hold on a moment. Fantastic move from David Zahn, who has just gained a position.
Amazing stuff. Focus and precision, what it's all about.
Every move counts now as Kevin Lekmansky works to reel in Simon of the Desert and overtake for P5.
Sometimes you have to take risks to win, but pushing the car too hard can be a costly mistake. Lekmansky needs to be careful not to overdo it.
Jake Feemster has the pedal to the metal, chasing David Zahn.
And Feemster is poised to capitalize on any mistake. It's just a matter of who cracks first.
This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Kevin Lekmansky is chasing Simon of the Desert in P5. Jake Feemster is on a mission, chasing David Zahn, who's desperately trying to stay ahead.
It's a game of strategy now as Feemster hunts down Dave. Yes, it's all about choosing the right moments to push and when to conserve energy, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
Kevin Lekmansky wants to get into Simon of the Desert's slipstream.
And if you're enjoying the racing, please remember to like and subscribe.
Incredible! Kevin Lekmansky is caught in a fierce battle, with Myers breathing down his neck 0.1 seconds away, and Simon just ahead with a gap of 0.1 seconds. It's a test of his racing skills.
I couldn't agree more, Marco. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind provide valuable information for Lekmansky. He'll need to assess the situation and use the gaps strategically to plan the next move.
Things don't seem to be going Simon of the Desert's way in this race, as that's a big gap he'll have to close to even be in with a shout for gaining a place here. Jake Feemster is running forward and trying to keep up with David Zahn. Good news for Jake Feemster. The gap to David Zahn has decreased. It's now down to 0.5 seconds. Looks like Jake Feemster is really hitting those curbs aggressively, which can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer.
Things are going according to plan for Kevin Lekmansky, who is currently fifth.
Definitely Marco, but Kevin can't afford to get complacent. This race is going to require focus and intensity.
Oh, this is getting intense. Simon of the Desert is just a few car lengths behind Kevin Lekmansky. It's not going to plan for Simon of the Desert, who is trailing behind Kevin Lekmansky, and the gap is widening. He may not have an answer for this right now.
This is a frustrating situation for Simon, but he can't give up just yet. He'll need to keep pushing and hope for a mistake from Lekmansky.
You know, Janet, during a long race like this, how easy is it for a driver to experience a lapse in concentration?
It can be quite easy, Marco. With so many factors to consider and the intense focus required, even the most experienced drivers can have a momentary lapse. That's why mental training and staying in the zone are so important.
The battle for P5 is heating up as Simon of the Desert tries to catch Kevin Lekmansky in P5.
It's a fine line between pushing the car to its limits and losing control. Simon is really walking that fine line.
It seems like Simon of the Desert is pushing hard, currently on track to record his best lap so far this race. You know, Janet, I've always wondered, how do racing drivers stay so cool and collected under such immense pressure?
Well, Marco, it comes down to mental strength and training. Drivers often work with sports psychologists and practice techniques like meditation and visualization to help them stay calm and focused during high-pressure situations.
It may seem like Simon of the Desert is far behind, but Kevin Lekmansky can't afford to let his guard down. One mistake could give Simon of the Desert an opening to catch up.
That's right. And Simon knows to keep pushing hard and driving his own race. He can't let Lekmansky off the hook.
Excellent work from Kevin Lekmansky, who has managed to increase his lead over Simon of the Desert.
It's really looking like Lekmansky is going to be tough to pass today. He's driving with real confidence and authority.
As a former driver, Janet, how did you manage the physical demands of racing?
It's all about preparation, Marco. Drivers undergo rigorous fitness training to build their strength, stamina, and flexibility. A proper diet and hydration plan is also essential to ensure peak performance on race day.
The gap between Kevin Lekmansky. Breaking news, folks. Heartbreak for Kevin Lekmansky as they slip down the field. That's not a small gap, but Jake Feemster has what it takes to challenge for the position.
Zahn is not going to give up his position easily.
Jake Feemster is not able to keep his pace consistent, and is currently 0.65 seconds down. The gap between Simon of the Desert and Kevin Lekmansky is pretty substantial right now. It's probably going to take a mistake from Simon to even allow Kevin to get a look in. Kevin Lekmansky is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Simon of the Desert to 1.2 seconds.
This is what racing is all about. Hard-fought battles with as much determination as respect, between friends and enemies alike.
You can feel the tension in the air.
The drivers are all focused, putting everything on the line for a chance at victory, pushing themselves and their machines to the limit.
And let's not forget about the incredible machines themselves.
Absolutely. It's amazing to think about the kind of engineering and innovation that goes into making these vehicles. But it all comes down to the drivers, who have to be able to handle the power and speed. It's going to be thrilling seeing how this race turns out.
The pressure is on as Jake Feimster tries to catch up to David Zahn. It looks like Jake Feimster braking alert. An impressive showing from Jake Feimster, who has gained positions and left David Zahn in the dust.
Go, 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 that's what we want to see.
It's a tight race with David Zahn in fourth, just managing to stay ahead of Simon of the Desert in 5 by a margin of 0.2 seconds.
If Simon gets
Braking alert. Oh dear, Simon of the Desert has had an incident. The gap between David Zahn and Simon of the Desert may be wide, but that doesn't mean David Zahn is safe. He's got to maintain concentration and avoid any lapses in performance.
Absolutely. And on the other side of the equation, Simon can't afford to let up. He's got to drive with intensity and focus, and wait for any opportunity to arise.
Some great driving from David Zahn, who has increased his lead over Simon of the Desert and is starting to put some distance between them.
That's a really strong performance from David. He's not giving Simon any chances to catch up.
Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled from being pushed for every last bit of speed.
The gap between them is now just over 0.4 seconds.
The pursuit is on. Kevin Lekmanski is closing the gap on Simon of the Desert, determined to claim P5.
We'll have to wait to see if Lekmanski can use the draft to his advantage, or if the lack of downforce will hinder his progress.
Kevin Lekmanski has just put in a faster lap than Simon of the Desert, so that's going to give him something to worry about. As a former racing driver, Janet, how challenging was it to adapt your driving style to account for tire degradation throughout a race?
It was a constant challenge, Marco. Tire degradation can change the car's balance and handling, so drivers need to be versatile and adaptable. It requires continuous adjustments to driving techniques and a keen understanding of the car's behavior.
The pressure is really on for Simon of the Desert in fifth as Kevin Lekmanski is close. Hold on a second. A setback for Simon of the Desert, who has just been passed.
Yes, but there's still plenty of race left. Simon needs to stay calm and focused, and make his move when the time is right.
And we're back, where the drivers are showing us some incredible skills.
Indeed, Marco, it's always exciting to see these skilled drivers operating such fantastic machines on amazing tracks.
Simon of the Desert is on a mission, chasing Kevin Lekmanski, who's currently got a comfortable lead. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure Ryan Wilson is going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. He's not giving up without a fight. Simon, hold on a moment. Big gains for Simon of the Desert as they move up the field, leaving Kevin Lekmanski behind. Ryan Wilson has a mountain to braking development. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line.
David is not going to be happy about that.
David Zahn is trying to catch up to Simon of the Desert. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Situations like these often lead to a dramatic finish. The delta is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Ryan Wilson needs to find a way to close the gap. The gap between Ryan Wilson and Melero is growing. It's now up to 2.4 seconds. This is a thrilling battle as Kevin Lekmanski edges closer to Jake Feimster in their fight for P3.
Lekmanski is looking to close the 1.0 second gap and make a pass.
It's not looking good for Kevin Lekmanski, who is still behind Jake Feemster, and the gap is increasing. Simon of the Desert will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops. Kevin Lekmanski is giving it his all, chasing down Jake Feemster in P3.
The gap is 0.5 seconds now. Lekmanski is going to have to work a bit harder to close that gap with Feemster.
The gap between Kevin Lekmanski and Jake Feemster is widening. It's now up to 0.8 seconds.
He needs to pick up the pace for sure, but that's not always a real possibility.
Well, it doesn't look like Simon of the Desert is going to be much of a threat to anyone soon, let alone David Zahn. It looks like David Zahn is pulling away from Simon of the Desert. The gap is continuing to grow as they head through Starkey's Strait. The race is really heating up. Kevin Lekmanski is hunting down Jake Feemster with breaking news, folks. A tough moment for Kevin Lekmanski, who has just lost a place, now in 5th. The drivers have been working hard to come up with the perfect race strategy. They've been looking at the weather, the track conditions, and the performance of their cars.
Now it's time to put that strategy into action and see if it pays off.
Wow, Melero is really pushing hard in these final moments of the race.
You got this, Melero. Keep it cool and bring it home.
What a win! This is a historic moment for Melero, who put on a masterclass in driving today. What a display of skill and precision. Impressive second-place finish for Ryan Wilson.
Brilliant. Wilson showed great skill and determination to take second place.
What a race from Jake Feemster. He kept his cool and secured a well-earned 3rd place on the podium. 4th and 6th sees David Zahn and Simon of the Desert. Kevin Lekmanski claimed 5th. It's a very still day here at Donington Park 2018 National, as we're getting ready to kick things off. Kevin Lekmanski will be feeling confident starting from pole position.
The pressure's on now. Let's see if any of the other drivers can challenge for this spot at the start.
David Zahn has a great opportunity starting on the front row.
He will have to be smart about his moves. He must not burn out too early.
Jake Feemster is holding down the fort in third place.
Let's see what Jake can do.
Ryan Wilson has qualified fourth,
putting that ASRL Lotus 98T into prime position for the race.
At fifth, we have the one and only Melero.
The Brazilian driver will be focused on a good result from here.
And we have liftoff. The race is now underway. This first sector will test the drivers' skills and their ability to stay focused.
The opening lap is often a hotbed of potential problems. The ability to steer clear of any mishaps will set the stage for a successful race.
Every lap is an opportunity for Kevin Lekmanski to learn just a little bit more to shave a few tenths or hundredths off his times.
I'd love to be on track burning some rubber here, Marco.
The tensions are high, and no one will want to make a crucial mistake on the first lap. The pressure is on when the field is this tightly packed. Maintaining just enough aggression to hold off their rivals without pushing too hard will help these drivers keep it clean. Look at that. Ryan Wilson is hot on the tail of Melero. It's certainly not going to plan for Ryan Wilson right now, who is struggling to keep up with Melero. This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Jake Feemster is chasing Ryan Wilson in P4.
Feemster is
braking update. Superb driving from Jake Feemster, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race. It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce.
You know what they say, keep your friends close, and your racing rivals even closer. Looks like Melero is taking that advice to
hold the phone. A brilliant maneuver from Melero, who has just moved up the field.
You can't argue with results like that. Melero is really making his mark on this race.
Even though Jake Feemster is a fair way behind David Zahn, he can't afford to let his guard down. David Zahn is still vulnerable to mistakes.
You're spot on, and Jake knows that he can't rely on Zahn making an error. He will need to drive with skill and determination, and be ready to seize any opportunity that arises.
This is where the race gets really interesting. Jake Feemster is closing in on David Zahn.
I would not be surprised to see him get this pass completed soon.
Every move counts now as Ryan Wilson works to reel in Jake Feemster and overtake for P4. It's a tale of two drivers right now, with Ryan Wilson gaining places and Jake Feemster losing them. Oh, this is getting intense. Jake Feemster is just a few car lengths behind Ryan Wilson. Jake Feemster needs to find some speed, or maybe get more consistent. Janet, he's just put in a slower lap than Ryan Wilson.
It will be interesting to see if Ryan can keep outpacing Feemster.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for David Zahn, who is currently in P3. It seems like David Zahn has got the bit between his teeth, improving on Mellero's lap time there. The battle for P4 is heating up as Jake Feemster tries to catch Ryan Wilson in P4.
It's all about finding the perfect opportunity. Jake needs to stay patient and wait for Wilson to make a mistake.
The gap between Jake Feemster and Ryan Wilson is getting smaller.
Exactly what Feemster needed. He can't afford to lose any more ground to Ryan.
The pressure is on as Ryan Wilson works on catching up to David Zahn.
Absolutely, precision and control are key here. Knowing when to push and when to hold back can be the difference between winning and losing.
It's not going to plan for Ryan Wilson, who is trailing behind David Zahn, and the gap is widening. He may not have an answer for this right now.
This is not ideal for Ryan, but there's still time to turn this around. He'll need to focus and not let that gap get any bigger.
Looks like we've had a few incidents out there.
Someone forgot to take their driving lessons. They're making more U-turns than a confused tourist.
Hilarious. I think they might need to call their GPS for directions. Maybe it can help them navigate the track. This is going to be a nail-biter. Ryan Wilson is defending for his life, but Jake Feemster is right there doing everything he can to force a mistake. Jake Feemster is running fifth, and trying to catch Ryan Wilson.
Jake needs to focus to have a chance at getting past Wilson.
Looks like we might have a great battle starting here between Ryan Wilson in fourth and Jake Feemster. It's been tense with a gap of only 0.3 seconds.
That's right. Wilson is showing some great form, and it looks like Feemster won't be able to catch up, barring any mistakes.
What a move. Ryan Wilson has moved up to third. The intensity hold the phone. Great driving from David Zahn, who has just gained a place and moved up to third.
Absolutely. Dave is really putting on a clinic out there, and he's making it look easy.
We've got an edge of your seat battle between Ryan Wilson in third and David Zahn in fourth, with just 0.2 seconds between them. It's a thrilling pursuit as David Zahn is right behind Jake Feemster, keeping the braking alert. Looks like that's a mistake from Mellero. This could be costly. Wow, it's a close race for third. Jake Feemster is barely ahead with David Zahn right on his tail. A gap of only 0.2 seconds. David Zahn is on a mission, chasing Jake Feemster, who's desperately trying to stay ahead. Breaking development. Oh dear, Ryan Wilson has dropped down to 4th. This race is getting even. Breaking news, folks. Disappointing for Ryan Wilson, falling down the order to 5th.
Yes, but he can't give up. There's still plenty of time left in this race, and Wilson needs to stay focused and keep pushing.
David Zahn is looking for a way to close that gap to Jake Feemster.
Dave needs to focus to make up that gap to Jake.
It's game on now. David Zahn has closed the gap to Jake Feemster. It's now down to 0.7 seconds.
This is where the pressure really starts to build. A driver that stays calm and focused is more likely to come out on top.
A great moment for David Zahn, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. Kevin Lekmanski is placed first at the moment.
Absolutely, and he'll need to keep driving with determination to stay in that position.
Heartbreak for Kevin Lekmanski. Stop the press. I don't think that's the fastest way around Donington Park 2018 National. Things don't seem to be going Mellero's way in this race, as that's a big gap he'll have to close to even be in with a shout for gaining a place here.
It's not over until the checkered flag drops, and it's important to maintain concentration until you've made it to the finish line.
Good news for Mellero. The gap to Kevin Lekmanski has decreased. It's now down to 0.8 seconds. While Kevin Lekmanski is not under immediate threat from Mellero, he can still benefit from staying focused. Any slip-up could lose him the position. A commanding performance from Kevin Lekmanski, who has increased his lead over Mellero, putting him firmly in his rear-view mirrors.
Yes, it's clear that Kevin is in control out there. He's making it very difficult for Mellero to catch up.
Oh, this is getting intense. Mellero needs to keep Kevin Lekmanski in his sights.
Mellero is really hustling that ASRL Lotus 98T. He's riding the curbs and pushing the car to its limits.
Mellero is trying his best, but can't seem to find the pace to keep up with Kevin Lekmanski at the moment.
Mellero really needs to push in Wheatcroft straight to gain some ground before Lekmanski drives off into the sunset.
Kevin Lekmanski is placed third at the moment, and hoping to keep his distance ahead of Mellero, who is 0.5 seconds behind. Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled from being pushed for every last bit of speed. These drivers are walking a razor's edge between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely, it's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving.
And Kevin Lekmanski has just won the place from Jake Feemster. Breaking news, folks. That won't be ideal for Jake Feemster. It's a game of cat and mouse out there. with Jake Feimster trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Melero. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. It's all about consistency for Kevin Lekmansky, who is currently second.
Yes, but Lekmansky has to keep his focus and drive with intensity. There's still a long way to go in this race.
Oh no, Janet, look at this. Melero is closing in on Kevin Lekmansky. The gap is now just 2.1 seconds.
He'll need to step up his game and start pulling away again.
Huge shout out to the admins at ASRL for making this all possible. Without their hard work and dedication, we wouldn't be able to witness this incredible event.
That's right, Marco, and the excitement is electric. I can feel it in my circuits. I mean, this is the kind of race that people will be talking about in the bar. We're witnessing history in the making.
The gap between David Zahn and Melero is pretty substantial right now. It's probably going to take a mistake from David to even allow Melero to get a look in.
Melero certainly isn't going to be close enough to mount any kind of challenge soon unless it's down to a mistake from Zahn.
The gap between Melero and David Zahn is growing. It's now up to 7.6 seconds. It doesn't seem like things are going to plan for Jake Feimster as there is a big gap ahead.
Every race adds to a driver's experience, both good and bad. It just highlights that Feimster is going to have to get more serious with practice to not get outclassed on the circuit.
Jake Feimster appears to be losing ground on Melero. He'll need to pick up the pace a bit heading into Coppice to get a good exit and gain some ground. The tension is building as Ryan Wilson trails behind Kevin Lekmansky. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. The gap between Ryan Wilson and Kevin Lekmansky is widening. It's now up to 46.5 seconds. Ryan Wilson is pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap to Kevin Lekmansky. There's 15 minutes left in this session to make that happen.
We're witnessing a battle of skill and strategy between two great drivers, with Wilson in fifth determined to catch up.
A strong showing from Melero, who is currently second. Impressive stuff from Melero, who has managed to pull away from Jake Feimster, leaving him in choking in his exhaust fumes.
It's clear that Melero is dominating right now. He's making it very difficult for Jake to catch up.
This will require some expert driving from Ryan Wilson. Kevin Lekmansky is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. It looks like Kevin Lekmansky is pulling away from Ryan Wilson. The gap is continuing to grow as they head through Wheatcroft Straight.
It's not over yet, but Ryan needs to get a move on if they want to catch up to Lekmansky.
It's looking good for David Zahn, sitting in first.
That's right, Zahn can't afford to make any mistakes or let up. Every point counts in this championship.
It looks like Melero is starting to catch up to David Zahn. The gap is now down to 3.8 seconds.
That's a worrying sign for Zahn.
In your experience, Janet, what was the most challenging aspect of maintaining concentration during a race?
The most challenging aspect, Marco, was managing the various inputs and distractions during the race, from radio communication with the team to monitoring car performance and race strategy. It's a delicate balancing act that requires immense mental discipline.
It looks like Melero is pushing hard to catch up to David Zahn.
That's right, Melero in second knows to push it to the limit to catch up. But David is no slouch, and he's going to be pushing just as hard.
It looks like we might get a battle between Melero and David Zahn. I think we just got time for a quick shout out to our human creators, Dave, Andy, John and Nigel, who have put so much effort into making this possible.
Yes, it's been a real thrill ride, and I for one look forward to future advancements in AI technology.
Apparently we are going to be announcing crashes and incidents soon. Let's hope they get the logic right. Melero has a mountain to climb at the moment to close that gap with David Zahn. I expect his only hope at this point is that David makes an error.
It's not over until the checkered flag drops, and it's important to maintain concentration until you've made it to the finish line.
A solid performance from David Zahn, who is holding down first. Things are starting to get tense as Melero manages to close the gap to David Zahn. It's now down to 2.8 seconds. It's a brilliant day for racing, and the drivers are putting on a show.
Absolutely. What a great race we are witnessing today. These drivers are giving it their all, and it's a thrill to watch them compete at this level.
They're really pushing themselves and their machines to the limit, and it's paying off with some incredible driving.
It's a pleasure to be here today, Marco. You really can't beat the excitement of a good race, especially one as competitive as this.
The crowd is on the edge of their seats as Kevin Lekmansky in fourth chases after Jake Feemster.
Lekmansky needs to find a little extra speed to bring the fight to Feemster and move up the field.
Kevin Lekmansky is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Jake Feemster to 0.8 seconds. Breaking development. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line.
Did the wind contribute to that? It's blowing at 5 kph out there right now.
Things are heating up as Kevin Lekmansky tries to close the gap to Jake Feemster.
This is
Breaking update. A great pass for Kevin Lekmansky, swapping places with Jake Feemster to move up the field. Tough break for Kevin Lekmansky, who has just lost a position.
Definitely, but Lekmansky is a skilled driver, and has what it takes to fight back and regain that position.
The pressure is on as Kevin Lekmansky tries to catch up to Jake Feemster. The race is heating up as Melero in second closes in on David Zahn.
Dave is not making it easy, maintaining a consistent pace.
Looks like Kevin Lekmansky is really hitting those curves aggressively, which can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance.
Braking alert. It's looking good for Kevin Lekmansky, who has gained a place after passing Jake Feemster. The race is really heating up. Jake Feemster is hunting down Kevin Lekmansky with everything he's got.
With just 0.4 seconds between them, Jake will need to close the gap to have hopes of a pass.
It looks like Jake Feemster is making a move. The gap to Kevin Lekmansky is now down to 0.3 seconds. Hey, Janet, you've had your fair share of races with little action. How did you handle the situation back in your racing days?
Well, Marco, patience is key in such scenarios. You need to stay focused and be ready to seize any opportunity that comes your way. It's like a game of chess at 200 miles per hour.
The pursuit is on. Jake Feemster is working on that gap to Kevin Lekmansky, determined to claim P3. Things are going according to plan for David Zahn, who is currently first. Jake Feemster wants to close that gap with Kevin Lekmanski. Breaking news, folks. Oh, things are getting intense for Jake Feemster. He's sandwiched between Wilson and Lekmanski, navigating this high-speed battleground. The gap to the car ahead is 0.2 seconds, while the car behind is only 0.1 seconds away. Kevin Lekmanski is giving it his all chasing down Jake Feemster in P3.
It's a game of strategy now as Lekmanski hunts down Feemster.
It's not going to plan for Kevin Lekmanski, who is trailing behind Jake Feemster and the gap is widening. He may not have an answer for this right now. It's all about consistency for Jake Feemster, who is currently third.
Definitely Marco, but Feemster can't afford to get complacent. This race is going to require focus and intensity.
Impressive driving from Jake Feemster, who has managed to extend his lead over Kevin Lekmanski. It looks like Kevin Lekmanski will have to regroup and try to make up that lost ground. This is where the true champions shine, and David Zahn is certainly showing his class in the final sector. The leader has just finished the race. A fantastic result for David Zahn.
That was a true masterclass in driving from Dave. You could see him making split-second decisions with total confidence, and it really paid off. What a performance.
Some might say that second place is the first loser, but Melero certainly doesn't see it that way. He put in a phenomenal effort and should be proud of his podium finish. Excellent focus from Kevin Lekmanski to secure a fantastic third place on the podium. Fourth is Jake Feemster.